How you doing? Hopefully enjoying your weekend. So it's divisional round weekend in the NFL. You saw from the title, divisional round is here. Yes, last weekend with the Super Wildcard weekend is the best weekend of the playoffs, and we saw some interesting results and everything last week. Sorry, but if you want to check that out, video will be linked here. Go back and check that out after this episode. See my thoughts on that. But now the divisional round, we're down to the final four teams in the AFC as well as in the NFC with a chance to go to championship games next weekend. We have interesting matchups. I believe 3 out of the 4 matchups are rematches of games from earlier in the season. I guess keeping up with kind of the theme of these playoffs that each game has had some type of like underlining meaning or whatever with that. So I did what I normally do. Check out FanDuel Sportsbook. Look at the lines on the games. I'm going to give you my predictions for the games, as well as kind of like a quick little thought on each game as to something to look forward to when the two teams meet up on the field. So once again, hopefully you like this video, like, subscribe, share, all the good stuff. But let's go ahead and get into these picks. So as you can see, I like one underdog and a favorite from both the AFC and the NFC to cover. Not going to say that both of the underdogs win. Just saying. We'll leave that there. But we'll start with the AFC. I like the Texans plus 9.5. I do think the momentum that the Texans have, plus the Ravens sitting home last week, you should probably expect a little bit of rest from them earlier on in the game. It's going to be whether or not they can, push back on the Texans, who are going to come in, no expectations. They're a young team. Not a lot is expected of them, so they can kind of play freely. One concern would be this Ravens defense. I mean, the Browns defense was number 1 against the pass, and C.J. Stroud carved it up. But, the Ravens defense is pretty good as well. So C.J. Stroud's going to have a repeat performance of what he did last week to Cleveland if the Texans are going to have a chance against the Ravens. But I will take the Texans plus 9.5 here. Oh, I guess one last thing I'll say is for the Texans is going to be staying close late into the game. Because I feel like with the Texans and the Ravens, it's going to be either a Texans upset, Ravens, maybe like a field goal from Justin Tucker, or a Ravens blowout. I would be shocked if we get a repeat of Texans-Browns this week with Texans-Ravens, with like the Texans running away with it. That would be the most shocking result. But those other 3 I just mentioned, I could see either one of them. So yeah, I'll take the Texans plus 9.5. Be disciplined on defense against Lamar. I say this all the time with teams facing the Ravens. You get too excited rushing up the field, Lamar can kill you with his legs. So force Lamar in the pocket and take your chances there. All right, so the next game, Bills-Chiefs. This is a rematch of that playoff game a few years ago with the chance to go to the AFC Championship game. Looked like the Bills were going to get it, and then Mahomes engineered a miraculous drive late in the fourth to send it to overtime, where the Chiefs ended up winning. I do think the Bills get some revenge here. I'm taking the Bills minus 2.5. I think coming into this game, both teams' season was a little bit uneven. I think the Chiefs' low points were towards the back half of the season, whereas the Bills were playing their best football later into the season. Coming off their win over the Steelers last weekend, wasn't that big of a deal, kind of expected, right? And the Chiefs are coming off their win over the Dolphins, where the Dolphins look like the elements just weren't conducive to them wanting to tackle or play playoff style football. The key for this one is going to be Can the Bills face their demons in the Chiefs and get it done? Because I've always been under the impression that the way they reacted to that playoff game a couple of years ago, all the talk about the overtime rules and everything, I thought it's something that's been lingering in the Bills in the back of their mind all this time. Now, this weekend is their opportunity to go up against that Chiefs team. I feel like the Bills are the better team looking at the recent run from both of them. They're at home in Buffalo with with Bills Mafia is going to be out loud and about no matter what the weather looks like. I don't think it's going to be supposed to be a snow game. I think it's just going to be cold, which both teams should be fine. But yeah, Josh Allen, no turnovers. Bills have a really good chance. If he throws a bunch of unnecessary interceptions, then yeah, the Bills will be on upset alert. But give me the Bills minus the 2.5. NFC side now. I got the Packers plus 10. The line started at, I believe, 9 earlier in the week. It went to 9.5. It's now at 10. Once again, I think that's a really big line, especially for a Packers team coming with a lot of momentum. 49ers sitting at home last week. I just think there's some expected rest from the 49ers. And I think the Packers will make it interesting. Now, that's going to be dependent upon Jordan Love continuing his play at the quarterback position, where he just looks like a very confident guy back there. And, he's making plays. I believe Christian Watson's going to play, and Romeo Doubs. So some young wide receivers seem like that they're, I guess, hitting their stride right now. The Niners are going to be a different animal than the Eagles, of course. The Packers beat not the Eagles, sorry. The Packers beat the Cowboys. Cowboys team that we documented kind of what they do in the playoffs. They don't show up. Packers took full advantage of that. Not expecting to see that this weekend with the Packers against the Niners. Be a tough match for them. So I do think the Packers cover, but I would probably pick the Niners to win the game. The Niners are the more complete, better team. Usually that wins out at this point in the playoffs. So giving the Niners to win, but Packers cover the 10. I just think that's too wide of a spread. I could see it being like a 27-20, 26-20 type of game. Niners win, but Packers cover. Final game, Lions, Bucks. Lions, because of their recent history, surprising to see them here. The Bucks, because of what their division was, they, I guess you could say, limped in a little bit. Went up against an Eagles team and demolished them to the point where, a lot of Eagles fans are questioning the whole makeup of their organization. But to think that come Monday morning when you wake up, you will realize that either the Lions or the Bucks are in the NFC Championship game. Kind of wild, and kind of speaks to how weird the NFL season actually has been. But I do think with the home field advantage, with the emotions and everything that are there, I do think the Lions are a better team than the Bucks. I've been all on the Baker Mayfield train in terms of the Bucks because he's really just kind of changed the energy there. And it's just, that's what kind of led to them winning that division. I just think, like I said, kind of what I said about the Niners, the better team wins here. I just think it's the Lions. Would I be surprised if the Bucks pulled off another one? Now the 6.5, if this line was like maybe 7.5, I'd probably go Bucks. But I think the 6.5 seems safe because I feel like this is a 6 to 8 point win for the Lions, and I'll take my chances that it's a little bit higher than the 6. So yeah, give me the Lions minus the 6.5. So those are my picks. Texans plus 9.5, Bills minus 2.5, Packers plus 10, Lions minus 6.5. Obviously, let me know in the comments your picks for this weekend's game. First game gets started, 4:30 Eastern? with the Texans and the Ravens. So, yeah, I'm intrigued to see what you guys have. As you can see, all my socials are up here. Follow me on whichever ones you use. Go over to TikTok. When I post the clip of this, I'll have a poll question up. Make sure you answer the poll. Love to hear what you guys think. So, with that, all I got to say is enjoy the football this weekend. Look, we're running out of weeks. Blink, it'll be Super Bowl Sunday. So, it is what it is. But enjoy the games. If your team's in it, hopefully they win. If not, like mine as a Patriots fan, look forward to the offseason already. So be safe. God bless. I'll see you next video. All right. Bye.